A body has been found. Someone's been murdered. One of the royal court painters. But seriously, why would anyone kill a painter whose job is literally to capture beauty on paper? Of course, we don't really know much about the victim's personal life. Now, you're supposed to find the killer, but you have no evidence, no documents, no witnesses, literally nothing. Just a corpse, and somehow you've got to figure out who the murderer is. So, what do you have left? Potential suspects. You start talking to them, trying to get information. But how do you know the person sitting calmly in front of you isn't the killer? They're composed, answering your question smoothly. But how can you be sure you're not speaking to a murderer? It's not like killers have horns or wear labels. If you were in this situation, what would you do? Hi friends, hope you're all doing well. Welcome to another video. Today, I want to introduce one of the beautiful stories I've read. A story that has won a Nobel Prize in literature. So if you're looking for an amazing book to read, stay with me until the end of this video. Now listen. I'm nothing but a corpse, a body at the bottom of a well. Though I drew my last breath long ago and my heart has stopped beating, no one, apart from that wild murder, knows what happened to me. As for that wretch, he felt my pulse and listened for my breath to be sure I was dead. Then kicked me in the midriff, carried me to the edge of the well, raised me up and dropped me below. As I felt, my head, which he'd smashed with a stone, broke apart. My face, my forehead and cheeks were crushed, my bones shattered and my mouth filled with blood. For nearly 4 days I've been missing. My wife and children must be searching for me. My daughter, spent from crying, must be staring fretfully at the courtyard gate. Yes, I know they're all at the window, hoping for me return. But are they truly waiting? I can't even be sure of that. Maybe they've gotten used to my absence. How dismal. For here, on the other side, one gets the feeling that one's former life persists. Before my birth, there was infinite time, and after my death, inexhaustible time. I never thought of it before. I'd been living luminously between two eternities of darkness. I was happy. I know now that I'd been happy. I made the best illumination in our Sultan's workshop. No one could revolve my mystery. Through the work I did privately, I earned 900 silver coins a month, which naturally only makes all of this even harder to bear. I was responsible for painting and embellishing books. I illuminated the edge of pages, coloring their boards with the most lifelike designs of leaves, branches, roses, flowers, and birds. I painted scalloped Chinese-style clouds, clusters of overlapping winds and forces of color that hide gazelles, galleys, sultans, trees, palaces, horses, and hunters. In my youth, I would decorate a plate or the back of a mirror or a chest, or at times the ceiling of a mansion or of a bustware manor, or even a wooden spoon. In late years, however, I only work in manuscript pages because our Sultan paid well for them. I can't say it seems insignificant now. You know the value of money even when you're dead. After hearing the miracle of my voice, you might think, who cares what you earned when you were alive? Tell us what you see. Is there life after death? Where's your soul? What about heaven and hell? What's death like? Are you in pain? As you probably guessed from the intro, today's story is a crime mystery set during the Ottoman Empire during the rule of Sultan Murad III. But before we dive into the book itself, let me just tell you one thing. This book is ranked among the top 100 books you must read in your lifetime. So if you're only ever going to read 100 books, this one definitely needs to be in that list. So what is the story? The story revolves around a group of 5 royal court painters. They are given a special commission by the Sultan, a secret project that must stay strictly between the 5 of them and the Sultan himself. What is the secret? They are to illustrate a book that will be gifted to the ruler of another region. So far, so good, right? But there is where it gets complicated. The Sultan asks them to change their traditional illustration style to mimic the techniques of Western artists. That request, that shift means change. And as you know, change is never easy. People resisted. Disagreement arise, painters argue, and secrets start to leak. And that's when it happens. You open the book to find a dead body, and now your job is to uncover the killer. One of the coolest features of this book is its multi-page narrators. Each chapter is told from a different perspective, and it's fascinating to see how much the viewpoint changes the way a story unfolds. Also, the characters go by nicknames, which adds another layer of mystery. You might think you're getting close to identify someone, but you're never entirely sure who's who. It's one of those books that hooks you till really last page. Speak from personal experience, when I started it, I found it a bit slow and even boring. It took a while to pick up and I was honestly confused at first, especially because I didn't know the characters were using aliases. But for you who are watching this video, I mentioned this point. That made the first 50 or 60 pages pretty disorienting for me. But once I caught up, I was hooked. And you know what they say, a good ending makes the struggle worth it. This book, totally worth it. By the end, I was so into it. I wanted to jump into the story and yell, oh my God, someone do something. The book's about to end. And when I finally finished it, I took a deep breath and said, whew, finally, that was something. Let me tell you about the award this book has won. In 2006, it won the Nobel Prize in Literature. In 2002, it received France's Best Foreign Book Award. And in 2003, it won the International Impact Dublin Literary Award. And the book I've been talking about all along, My Name is Red, by Orhan Pamuk, the Turkish author. In one of his interviews, Pamuk said that his motivation for writing this novel was to preserve ancient stories. Before writing My Name is Red, he was reading Ferdowsi's Shahnameh and Khosrow and Shirin, and honestly, after reading such masterpieces, it's not surprising that he created one of his own. And this design that you see on the cover is also an adaptation of the story of Khosrow and Shirin, where Khosrow is murdered by his own son. This translation is one of the most famous translations of Pamuk's works into English and was translated by Erdog Göknar. The book was published in English in 2001 and played a major role in introducing Orhan Pamuk to readers worldwide. To get to know the author better and see where the book takes you, I will read you a part of the book. This part that I want to read to you is the first chapter of the book, narrated by the victims of our story, Zarif Efendi, in the name of I Am Corpse. That's it for today's book. Thanks for staying with me until this point in the video. I hope you read this book and enjoy it. But just like I always say, when choosing a book, consider different perspectives and choose the best and most suitable one based on your taste. And read books, read books, and read books. Reading leads to change, and big changes are started from within ourselves, right? Take care of yourself. Be safe. Bye-bye.